Can you all see the screen? One of you has to answer me, otherwise it's like I'm teaching to a blank screen. Okay, so
Recording in progress.
right. So okay, so last class, I think this is where we stopped. No, we spoke about linear functions, how to find the profit, and then we went on computing the break-even points and so on. So I guess today we have to start off with quadratic functions. So remember last class we spoke about linear functions. Linear in the sense, linear in x and y, right? And today we are going to talk about quadratic functions. Quadratic in the sense they are parabolas, right? They can either open upward as if in this, or they can open downward like this. Okay. So these are called quadratic functions. Okay, so now let's see, in order to, now if they give you an equation, function, and ask you to draw the parabola or draw the graph of it, first you need to compute the vertex. Vertex means the maximum or the minimum point over here. So here we have a minimum and over here we have a maximum. So when they ask you to compute the curve vertex, it means to find the maximum or the minimum. So how do we find the vertex? In order to find the vertex, you need to complete the square. Chapter 1. So this is the given function, 2x squared minus 4x plus 1. So how do you compute the vertex? You need to complete the square. So if you have something like this, remember I told you all, the coefficient in front of x squared should be 1. Right? The coefficient in front of x squared should be 1. But here we have 2x squared minus 4x plus 1. So what's step 1? Step 1 is you factor 2 and you divide all the other terms by 2. So what do we do? Factor 2 out and divide all the terms by 2. Can you all do it? So all of you take your books, take your papers and try to complete the square. Because you have done this before. Try to complete the square and get the vertex and tell me the vertex. Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes. Please try it out. So did you all try it out? So what do we do first? As I said, you factor 2 out. So factoring 2 out means you divide all the terms by 2. So if you divide 4x by 2, you get minus 2x plus 1/2. Now what do we do? Now we need to complete the square. So do you all remember what we do? What's next? Who can tell me what's next? What do we do? What do we do? Can someone tell me what we have to do next? Now I told you all know this session has to be interactive. If you all just keep quiet from next week onwards, I will have physical lectures. Because it's like I'm teaching to a blank screen, which I really don't like. Right? If you all don't answer my questions, from next Monday onwards, we have the lectures physically. Tell me, what do we do next? Bring the constant term to the right side. What is the constant term here? What is the constant term? How do we find the constant term? No, not 1/2. No, we don't do anything with 1/2. That if you had the constant term on the other side, you bring it to this side. So here there is no equal to 0. No? So you have only this function. So what do we do next? (23u). Unmute and tell me the answer. 23u. 25, 60, 23u. (23u), can you hear me? Yes, unmute yourself and tell me what do you do next. So tell me what do we do? ඊළඟට මොකද කරන්න කියලා කියන්න. Answer me please. Yes, 143p, 144p. Can you tell me what do you do? I can't hear you. (23u). Can you tell me what do we do next? (106d). 106d. Can you unmute yourself? 106d. (106d). Can you unmute yourself? ළමයි මම ඕගලන්ව අයින් කරලා දානවා මේකෙන්. හොඳේ? දැන් ඕගලන් මගේ ප්‍රශ්න වලට උත්තර දෙන්නේ නැත්නම් මම මේ සෙෂන් එකෙන් ඕගලන්ව අයින් කරලා දානවා. 106d. Can you please answer? So that means you are not there. So 106d, I'm going to remove you. You will not be able to rejoin the meeting. 56m. 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 $56M. 1C. 1C. 25,600,1C. Yes. Can you answer me?
Take the half of the minus 2x.
Yes, very good. So what do we do? You take, again repeat it. Repeat it. What do we do? Can you repeat it again? 1C. Can you repeat it again?
Take the half of the minus 2x.
Take the half of minus 2x. Very good. So what is half of minus 2x? What is half of minus 2x?
Minus 1.
Minus 1. Right. Thank you. Next. 2f. 25, 6, 2f. 2f. Unmute yourself, please. 2f.
Yes, madam.
Okay. So now what do we do? Now you take minus 2x, you divide by 2. Okay, we get minus 1. Now what do we do?
I got no idea.
You don't have no idea. Okay. Next. 3, 3. Where is 3j? 3j. Square it and add it. Right? Good. So we square it. One half. So if you square this, it's 1. So we add it. Okay. We add it. Then additional add කරලා තියෙන නිසා I'm going to subtract it as well. Right. I'll add it and I will subtract it. Right. So now what do I do? Now I want x squared minus 2x plus 1. That's all I want. And the rest, so here there should be a square bracket here. And the rest I will take out of these brackets, out of these parentheses. That means plus 1 half minus 1. Okay, so inside the parentheses we have x squared minus 2x plus 1. And outside we have 1 half minus 1. So now I can write this as a perfect square. 4. Where is 4? 3j, 4m. 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 Yes, can you tell me how can you write this as a perfect square? 4m. How do we write this as a perfect square? මේක මොකද්ද මම කොහොමද perfect square එකක් හැටියට ලියන්නේ?
x minus
x minus
1.
1. Very good. x minus 1 all square. හරි. ලිව්වා. ඊට පස්සේ මම මෙතනම plus half minus 1 කියන්නේ minus 1 half. Right? So I can simply write over here minus 1 half. So if I simplify this, I will get 2 times x minus 1 all squared minus 1. So this is what I have. Okay. Now we have to find the vertex. Then make a theorem. Then කොහොමද මම vertex එක හොයන්නේ? So I have to, now what did I do? If they give you the function, I had to complete the square and write it in this way. So I have 2x minus 1 all squared minus 1. Now how do we find the vertex? So if you see, I plug in x equals 1. Right? So if I plug in x equals 1, what do I get? Let me clear this up. Now what do I do? X equals 1. මෙතන බිඳුවක් වෙනවා. X equals 1 දැම්ම ගමන් here it will become 0 and this will be, y will be minus 1. And how do we find the x-intercept and the okay. So actually now this is the vertex. So the vertex is x equals 1 and if you plug in x equals 1, y equals minus 1. So that is the vertex. කොහොමද හොයාගත්තේ? මෙතන බිඳුව වෙන්නේ, it will become 0 if you plug in x equals 1. So when x equals 1, you plug in 1, you get y equals minus 1. So that is the vertex. Now, okay, so now we know the vertex. Right? So the vertex is okay, we know the vertex. So this is the vertex. Now we have to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So how do we find the x-intercept? For the x-intercept, we substitute y equals 0. What do? We substitute y equals 0. So here y equals 0. So if you plug in y equals 0, right, y equals 0. So you can take 1 to this side. You will have 2x minus 1 all squared. And this will be 1/2 equals x minus 1 all squared. And if you take the square root, 1/2 equals x minus 1 plus or minus. Right, so x will be equal to, you add 1. 1 plus square root of 1/2. And the other term will be 1 minus square root of 1. So those are the x-intercepts. So how do you find the x-intercept? You plug in y equals 0. And then you have to find the y-intercept. How do we find the y-intercept? How do we find the y-intercept? For the y-intercept, we plug in x equals 0. For the y-intercept, you have to plug in x equals 0. So if we plug in x equals 0 over here, we get y equals 2 0 minus 1 all squared minus 1. So minus 1 all squared is 1, which is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. So that is the y-intercept. So we found the x-intercept, y-intercept, and we know the vertex. Now we can draw the function. So you all can do it now. And if you have any questions, please ask. Do you all have any questions? Is it okay? Did you all do it? So how do we do it? You find the x-intercept by plugging in y equals 0, y-intercept by plugging in x equals 0, and we find the vertex. So in a number line, in a Cartesian coordinate, draw a Cartesian coordinate. In the Cartesian coordinate, mark the vertex, x equals 1, y equals -1, and the y-intercept, which is when x is 0, y is 1, and the x coordinate, x-intercepts, okay? And then you have to just connect it. So when you connect it, you will get this graph. Any questions? Do you all have any questions? Any questions? Is this okay? Okay, then let's move to the next one. So properties of a quadratic function. So if we have ax squared plus bx plus c, we say if a is greater than 0, the parabola open upward. That is, if a is greater than 0, we have a minimum point. That's true, no? Here we had 2x squared, which is positive. So the parabola open upward. And if a is less than 0, then it open downwards. That is, it has a maximum point. And the axis of symmetry is x equals minus b over 2a. So true here. We get x equals 1 here. Right? X equals 1. So if you do minus b over 2a, you will get the same. Minus b over 2a. So minus b is 4. 2 times a is 2. So here you get 1. So that is the axis of symmetry. X equals 1. See here, we have drawn the line at x equals 1. So that is the axis of symmetry. And how do we find the vertex? So you don't have to complete the square anymore. How do you find the vertex? So this is minus b over 2a. So if you have minus b over 2a, in the earlier one, what did I have? Minus b, right? So plus 4. So we get 1. And then you have to substitute in the equation to find the y coordinate. So substitute in the equation. 2x squared minus 4x plus 1. Right? So 2 minus 4 plus 1. So minus 2 plus 1 is minus 1. So that is the vertex. So the vertex is 1 comma minus 1. So easy way to get the vertex. Okay. If you use this, it's easy to get the vertex. And then you can find the x-intercepts by plugging in y equals 0 and y-intercept by plugging in x equals 0. So can you all get the vertex, the x-intercept, y-intercept and sketch the parabola for this problem? Please do it. So now you know the easy way out. You don't have to complete the square. You can simply substitute minus b over 2a and get the vertex. Please do it. So now I will ask you all one by one. So I hope you all have done this. Have you all done it? Right. Now how do we find the vertex? Six C. 6C. Sorry, 16C. 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 Can you unmute yourself and answer how do we find the vertex? 16C. How do we find the vertex? Sixteen C.
First, we want to get 2 as a right number.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Please repeat again. How do we find the vertex? How do we find the vertex?
First, we want to get 2 as a right number.
First, I can't hear you. What did you say? First? First? What do we have to do?
Get 2.
Hmm? What do we have to do? What do we have to do? Can you please tell me what you need to do?
Get 2 as a common number.
No. Now I explain, no, not to do the completing the square. I told you all what you need to do. You haven't been paying attention. Seven B. 7B. 7B.
Yes, madam.
Can you tell me now what do we need to do in order to find the vertex?
First, we have to use the formula
Uh,
minus b over 2a
Very good. Okay. So what is minus B then?
minus 5
Okay.
over divided by
Uh,
plus 2
uh,
multiplied by minus 2
so which is minus?
minus 4.
Very good. This will cancel. So the answer is 5 over 4. So that is the x coordinate, no? What's your name? What's your name?
Ramudi.
Okay, Ramdi. So this is the x coordinate. Now how do you find the y coordinate, Ramdi?
X equals to 0.
No, now we need to find the y coordinate. Now we found the x no vertex, okay, x with the right way. How do you get the y coordinate?
2x
2x
minus 2
minus 2.
multiplied by
Yes.
5 over 4
Yes.
plus
Squared. Squared එකක් තියෙනවනේ නේ මෙතන. Plus.
5
Okay.
5 over 4
Okay.
minus 2.
Good. So if you simplify this, what do we get?
1.125.
Okay, 9 over 8. Right. So now we have the vertex. X is 5 over 4, y is 9 over 8. Okay, good. Good. Now we move on to 10D. 10D.
Yes, madam.
What's your name?
Nandini.
Okay, tell me, how do we find the x-intercept? How do you find the x-intercept? We found the vertex. Now 5 over 4, 9 over 8. How do we find the x-intercept?
It integrates when fx equal to 0.
X-intercept is when y is equal to 0. Right? X-intercept නම් අපි y තමයි බිඳුව කරන්නේ. X-intercept is when y is 0. Okay, can you all solve this equation? Did you solve this?
Yeah.
So did you get this?
No.
Okay. So why you didn't get this?
I just start from that step.
Okay. So this is so we can do this. 2x squared minus 5x plus 2 equal to 0. Right? Now you can factor it. Okay, I'll give you all 2 minutes. Factor this quickly. So what do we do? You find the factors. If you can't find it, you could write this. X equals minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So using this, you can find the x-intercept. So x-intercept is when y is 0. So you will get one as 1/2 0, the other is 2 0. j 18J, can you unmute yourself? 18J.
Yes, madam.
Now tell me, how do you find the y-intercept?
We have to equal the equation x. We have to equal x to 0.
Very good. In order to find the y-intercept, you have to equate x to 0. So if you plug in x equals 0, what do we get for y?
Minus 2.
Minus 2. Very good. So this is the y-intercept. Okay. And sketch the parabola. So in order to sketch it, we have to figure out whether this have a minimum or a maximum. So if you look at A is minus 2. So based on the value of A, 31R, can you unmute yourself and tell me whether this will have a minimum or a maximum? 31R. 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 31 R? Yes. Can you tell me whether this will have a maximum or a minimum? So what is the sign in front of A? What is the sign in front of A? Speak up. I can't hear you. Speak up. Can you please speak up? 31 R. What is the sign in front of A? Nineteen M.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So tell me, how do we know whether this is a minimum or a maximum?
A is -2, so it opens down.
Yes, downward means minimum or a maximum. Hmm? So like
Maximum.
this. Maximum. Very good. Maximum. Right. So can we plot the graph then? So can we plot the graph? Vertex 5/4, 9/8. So it's a little bit more than 1, somewhere here. Right. And it opens downward. So one is at 1/2 0, the other is 2 0. Small box. Right? So here it will be 1/2, here it will be 2, here it will be 2, here it will be 1/2, and this will be, the vertex will be 5/4, 9/8. Okay, is that okay? So that's how we draw the graph. Any questions? Okay, so any questions? No questions? Yes, you can mark the intersect point as well. Yes, you have to. Yeah, I have done it over here. So the y-axis, it will cut the y-axis at -2. So if you draw it further down, this will cut somewhere over here, -2. Okay, next we move on to demand and supply curves. So demand equation expresses the relationship between unit price and quantity demanded, right? So demand equation is the relationship between unit price and quantity demanded. The graph of a demand equation is called the demand curve. In general, the quantity demanded of a commodity decreases as the commodity's unit price increases and vice versa. So you all know when the unit price increases, as in fuel, now fuel prices have drastically increased. So when the fuel prices increases, the demand for fuel will decrease. So accordingly, a demand function denoted by P equals Fx, where P measures the unit price and X measures the number of units. And it is generally a decreasing function of X. That is, as P increases, the unit price increases, the quantity demanded will decrease. Since both these units, that is the quantity demanded X and the unit price P are non-negative, right? So this curve, the demand function will lie only in the first quadrant. It can't be negative. And what about the supply? If you look at the supply, so when the unit price increases, right? If the unit price increases, then there will be an increase in the supply. People will try to produce more and more. For example, if corn prices increases, people will plant more and more corn. So the supply in the market will increase. And if the unit price decreases in the market, the supply will decrease. Okay? Whereas for the demand, it's the other way around. So the equation that expresses the relationship between unit price and the quantity supplied is called the supply equation or the supply curve. So a supply function is an increasing function of X. Unit price increases, the quantity supplied will be increased. Since both these units, that is the quantity supplied and unit price are non-negative, so this curve will also lie only in the first quadrant. So I hope this is clear. So what happens? If the unit price increases, demand decreases. If the unit price increases, the supply will also increase. So that's the relationship. Then we have the market equilibrium. So market equilibrium prevails when the quantity produced is equal to the quantity demanded. Right? So the quantity produced at market equilibrium is called the equilibrium quantity. And the corresponding price is called the equilibrium price. So at the market equilibrium, the quantity produced will be equal to the quantity demanded. And the quantity produced at the market equilibrium is called the equilibrium quantity. And the corresponding price is called the equilibrium price. So here I have the supply curve, which is an increasing function of X, the quantity. And we have the demand curve, which is a decreasing function of X. Look here, so the curves are not linear anymore. I know in school you all have done linear, but here it's non-linear. So probably sometimes we deal with quadratic equations. So because of that, we have drawn non-linear curves for supply and demand. So as the quantity increases, as the price increases, supply increases, right? As unit price increases, supply increases. As the price increases, the quantity or the demand decreases. So we have some problems over here. You all can try solving. So the first problem, you all can go on solving. So they have given the weekly demand and the supply curves, and they are asking you to find the equilibrium quantity and price. Okay, so what did I tell you about the equilibrium? At market equilibrium, quantity produced will be equal to quantity demanded. Quantity produced is equal to quantity demanded. So dx will be equal to sx at the equilibrium, at the market equilibrium. Okay, now you all can do this. So did you all try this out? So you have to equate the demand function and the supply function. 144 minus x squared equals 48 plus 1 half x squared. Take all the x squared terms to one side and the numbers to the same side, right? So we get 3 over 2 x squared minus 96. Remove the 2, multiply both terms by 2. Then we get 3x squared minus 192. So if we remove the 3, we get x squared minus 64 equals to 0. So which implies x squared is 64. So x is plus or minus 8. So there are two answers now. Out of this, which answer should we select? X equals 8 or x equals minus 8? Hmm? X equals 8. Why is that? Why is that? Because the quantity can't be negative. So only x is 8. It can't be negative. So when x is 8, you can find the price. 144 minus 8 squared. So 0, 8. Right. So that's how you find the equilibrium quantity and price. Any questions? Okay, then let's move on to the next problem. Okay, so here quarterly profit of reality company is given by this. So they have given the profit function. What is the maximum profit? So how do you know that this will be a maximum? How can you figure out whether this will be a maximum or a minimum? 29T. 29T, can you please unmute and answer my question? 20. Have a max or a min? They're asking you to find the maximum quarterly profit. No, so how do you recognize whether this will have a max or a min? Hmm? 29T, can you answer me? I can't hear you. Please answer. Unmute yourself and answer, please. 29T, unmute and answer. Yes, can't hear yet. I can't hear you. $27K. $27K, can you unmute and answer? $27K. Can you unmute yourself and answer? 27K. $27K. $34E. 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 Unmute yourself. $34E. 35H. $34E. Unmute yourself.
Yes, madam.
Okay. So tell me, how do you know whether this is maximum or minimum?
Sign of A, madam.
Yes, sign of A is?
It minus
Okay.
the maximum value because it's minus.
Very good. So maximum value is minus. So since it is the sign is minus, so what do we suggest?
It will be a maximum value.
It will be maximum value. Good. So we have a maximum here because it's minus. So how do we find the parabola, the vertex? The vertex, they're asking you to find the maximum point. No? So the maximum is the vertex. You have to find the vertex. So minus b over 2a. So minus b over 2a and find x and plug it over here and find y. I'll give you 5 minutes to do it. Right, so if you plug in minus b over 2a minus b minus 7 over 2 times a is 1 over 3. So if you simplify, you get 10.5. And if you plug it over here, you get the y coordinate, so which is the maximum profit. So y coordinate gives you the maximum profit. Since it's in thousands of dollars, 66.7, you can multiply it by 1000. So you get the maximum profit as 67,750. So that is how you get the maximum value. Okay, so did you all do it right? So the next question. The demand function for a certain brand of Bluetooth headsets is given by this. Where P is the unit price and X is the quantity. Above what price will there be no demand? So what are they asking you to find? Above what price will there be no demand? So that you have to first plot this and find. And they said they have given the demand function. Right? So this sign is negative, which means it will open up. Now this is a parabola, right? So it will open up upwards. Maximum එක තමයි එන්නේ. එතකොට අහන්නේ, what are they asking you to find? Above what price will there be no demand? So if this is the graph, right? If this is the graph, you have to determine beyond which price will there be no demand. කියන්නේ price එක කොහොමද ඕගොල්ලන් හොයන්නේ? Where the price will be 0, right? So this is the price, no? This is the quantity. So where the price will be 0 and where the price will be negative, because I told you all earlier also that a price can't be negative. This can't be negative. So where it's 0 and where it's negative. So for this, what do we need to know? We need to know the x-intercepts. So what do you need to find? You need to find the x-intercepts. So this is a quadratic function. They are asking you beyond which price will there be no demand. So you have to find the point where the price will be 0, because afterwards the price will be negative. How do we know that this opened downward? Here, because of this negative sign, we know it has a maximum value. So solve this quadratic equation and get the two x-intercepts. Do it, please. So how do we solve this? We can multiply all the terms by 100. So if you multiply, you will get minus x squared. And here, multiply by 1, 10, 20. So if you multiply it by 1000, not 100, 1000. 25x squared minus 500x plus 60,000. Now you can divide all the terms by 25. So if you divide by 25, you get minus x squared minus 20x plus 2,400. And using one of the methods that you have learned, you can find the two x-intercepts. So these are the quantities. So if you plug in, so now we get minus 60, this can't be. So x equals 40. So this is the quantity, x equals 40. So according to this quantity, you have to find the price. So beyond that, there can be no above that. So beyond this, this is the maximum quantity demanded. Okay. So x equals 40 is the maximum quantity demand. And when x is 40, the price is 0. Okay, so now this is the quantity. Now the question asks you to find above what price will there be no demand. So beyond this, there will be no demands. Here the price is 0. And what is the price beyond there will be no demand? So that means you have to find this point. Right? This is the quantity. Now we found the quantity. Now they are asking you to find the price. No? So for the price, you have to find this point. That is the y-intercept. Y-intercept is when x is 0. So now find the y-intercept when x is 0. So if you plug in x equals 0, you get 60. So that is the price. Beyond this price, there will be no demand. So beyond 60, there will be no demand. Yes, beyond 60, there will be no demand. Thousands now, you have to multiply it by 1000. Any questions? So do you all understand if you get a question like this, if they ask you for the quantity, so that will be the find in the x-intercept. If they ask you for the price, that will be find in the y-intercept. Maximum price, if they ask you for the maximum price, the maximum price will be the vertex. So remember that. If they say the quantity, x-intercept, price, y-intercept, and maximum price will be the vertex. Okay, I hope it's clear. So this is the end of chapter 2. Do you all have any questions from this? If not, I have one more thing to do in chapter 2. So one more thing, we are going to introduce functions. Right. So here we have some graphs. So this is the graph of a constant function, y equals 2. So you all know y equals 2 is, there will be just one straight horizontal line passing through the point 2. Then we have the identity function y equals x. So whenever x is 1, y is 1, x is 2, y is 2. When x is minus 1, y is minus 1, and so on. Then we have the absolute value graph. So absolute value is no negative values, right? All values are positive. No negative values. Then we have the quadratic function, y equals x squared. So you all know this. And then we have the y equals x cubed graph, right? Which looks like this. Then we have y equals square root of x. So we have only the first quadrant because square root is not defined for negative values. Then we have the cube root. So the cube root is defined for negative values as well. Then we have y equals 1 over x. So as x approaches to 0, y goes to infinity. Right? So x approaches 0, y goes to infinity. And as x goes to infinity, y goes to 0. X goes to infinity, y goes to 0. Same over here. Then we have the graph of y equals x squared. So here again, when x equals to 0, y goes to infinity. When x goes to infinity, y goes to 0. So these are the basic graphs and you all should know the shapes. Then we have these vertical shapes. So if you have f of y equals fx, how do you plot y equals fx plus 2? So if this is x squared, you all know how to plot y equals x squared. So this is the graph y equals x squared. This is the graph y equals x squared. So how can you plot y equals x squared plus 2? You have to move 2 units up. So this is y equals x squared plus 2 units up. And this is y equals x squared 1, 2, 3, 4 minus 4. So if you have minus, you move down. If it is plus, you move up. Then we have horizontal shifts. Right? So if we have y equals x squared, and if you have x plus 2, you move 2 units to the left, that is towards the negative side. Because if we plug in minus 2 here, minus 2 plus 2 equals 0. Right? So the vertex will move 2 units to the left. But if you have y equals x minus 3 all squared, then you move 3 units to the right, towards the positive side. Because here again you will have 3 minus 3 is 0. You all understand? If you have negative to the, if you have positive to the negative side, and if you have negative to the positive. If you have positive to the negative side, and if you have negative to the positive side. So that always y will be 0. So those are horizontal shifts. Vertical shifts are either moving up or down. Horizontal means left or right. Any questions of what we did so far? So here again you have another graph y equals x minus 3. So if it is minus, you move 3 to the right. And here again y equals x squared. So if you say x minus 2 square root, 2 to the right, x plus 2 square root, 2 to the left. Then we have combining vertical and horizontal shifts. So x minus 3 squared plus 2 is 3 to the right plus 2. Right? 3 to the right and 2 up. So those are combining horizontal and vertical shifts. Then we have reflections about the x-axis. So if you have the cube root of x, then y equals minus, the cube root of minus x will be the reflection about the x-axis. So these are all the same. So don't worry much about the reflections, but you all should know this horizontal and vertical shifts. And the combination. Right? So combining, if they give you a combination, you should be able to plot. So for that, you have to know the graph of y equals x squared. So y equals x squared is just a parabola that passes through the point 0, 0. Right? That open upwards, not downwards, upwards. So if you say x minus 3, then 3 to the right plus 2. So here the vertex will be 3, 2. Any questions? Then we have this vertical stretch and vertical shrink. So if you have a graph y equals cx, that is now here we have y equals 2fx. So this graph has been stretched by 2. So y equals fx is the purple graph. Y equals 2fx means vertically stretched. Dekkakin stretch vela. If you have y equals fx over 2, it's the other round. It's a shrink. Y values are halved. So over here, the y values have double. If you had y equals 2fx, y values have double. The y values have become half of what they used to be. And the points gets closer to the x-axis. They have half. Here they have doubled. So this, if you multiply by 2, it's like you stretch it. If you divide it, you shrink the values. I hope you all understand. Multiplication is stretching, division is shrinking. If you have, so that is for vertical, but for horizontal stretching, if you have y equals fx and y equals f2x, the horizontal shrink, here the x value have half. Why? Because the y value will remain the same. Right? Now, if you plug in 1 here to get y value, here you don't have to plug in 1, here you have to plug in 1/2. 1/2 into 2 will be 1. If we want the same y value, now we want y. So for that we plug in x equals 1. X equals 1, if you plug in x equals 1, you get some y value. Whereas here if you plug in x equals 1, you will get another y value. But if we want the same y value, we should plug in x equals 1/2. So what has happened to the x values? In order for y to be the same, x values have half, right? And the points get closer to the y-axis. Whereas over here, horizontal stretch, x values have double. Now if we want 1, මෙතන substitute කළා හරියන්නේ නැහැ. මෙතන දෙකක් substitute කරන්න. You have to substitute 2 because 2 divided by 2 will be 1. So points get further away. See? Here the green graph, they have become closer. Here further away. So horizontal stretching and shrinking changes the x value of points. Transformations, x values are counter-initiating. So that's what I just explained. So those are the things that you all should know about graphs. I will upload this note to the Moodle. I guess this is not there, so I will upload it. So you all should know the basic graphs, the shapes, and then how to do this. Vertical shifts, horizontal shifts, then both vertical and horizontal, and then vertical stretching and shrinking, and then horizontal stretching and shrinking. Any questions? Any questions?
Recording stopped.
Any questions? So if not, you all can leave. Next week, I will let you all know. Most probably, I will have it physical because no interest.